Hey everybody, welcome to Sweetcast. I'm Clint. We've got Eric, Mike, and Scott
Hello
on
there.
the panel today. Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
everybody.
And today, just a quick primer, I guess, if that's what we're going to call it. We're going to be talking about the new Vampirella #1, and it looks like that it has gone full woke, so that's a big deal. And then we're also going to talk about plus size mannequins because I don't know.
Because why not?
Caught my attention. Caught my attention. And anything else that comes up. And I think most importantly, we're going to be talking about samurai and dinosaurs because that campaign is coming to an end and it looks like a really good book. We're excited for it. So yeah, welcome everybody. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. We'll get into why in a little bit, but things are on the up and up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Somebody got a plus size mannequin.
Oh, baby. Sometimes dreams do come true.
Yeah. We got, it's so great to see the chat starting to fill up. Welcome. Aldous is here. Ted Lehman's here. Welcome. Alois Doddle. I know I say your name wrong every time, but welcome. Great to see you. Yeah, and everybody, don't be afraid to share this out. We'll try to get as many people here as we can. We do have some really fun stuff to talk about.
Maybe I should try that too.
Sharing it?
Nobody listens to your shares, Eric.
That's probably true.
Like 5 Twitter followers? Is that what you're at?
Well, 13 something. 13
you got,
something.
of course, you've got more than I do.
I know. Yeah, he's got us all beat.
Yeah.
It pays to be the letterer of everybody's books. Let me tell you that. You drown in Twitter followers.
Yeah, I can only imagine all the DMs that you're getting constantly.
I'm berated.
Yeah, I already get too many, and I'm trying to figure out.
Eric ignored my DM for like 2 or 3 days, and he was like, "Oh, sorry, I lost this one." I was like, I could only imagine.
Yep.
He's like the hot girl in a small high school. We'll say that, and it's prom time.
That's exactly what my life is like. I'm glad finally somebody could bring it into words. This is the struggle I've had for decades. And I've never been able to really give a good analogy. And there you go. You just laid it out for everybody.
Who says I suck at analogies? There we go.
Most people. But, every once in a while, I squeeze out a nugget of gold.
Yeah. Squeeze it. Yeah. You'll notice my camera's not on, just real quick. I got that computer built. It is up and running. And it's sitting in the other room, but I'm not quite.
It's doing a whole lot of good for you in there, isn't it?
I know. I'm going to finish the rest of it tonight, but I've got to get Photoshop installed on it and a couple other things.
You want to install Photoshop because you want to, catch up in the lettering game, I guess, maybe.
Well, I use Photoshop for the thumbnails, and that's crucial for the videos. So
I wouldn't suggest lettering in Photoshop. Just saying.
Yeah,
well, that's exactly why Clint would be like, I can defy him. He doesn't know everything.
I'm going to use Microsoft Paint to letter.
It's probably happened in the past.
I letter in PowerPoint.
I letter in spreadsheets. I'm just that good at it.
Just hand letter everything constantly. Even Von Scriver says, or Evan Von Scriver says, "What's Vampirella?" Did I spell that wrong? Vampirella? I think that's right.
Does it matter anymore?
Well, apparently not. You guys want to see this? At first I thought this was a joke, and I'm gonna share this. DC Fans United. I think another comics. I'm just assuming DC Fans United is Comicsgate. But basically,
should I?
What's that? Oh yeah. Maybe we're gonna get a little bit of help here, but yeah, we've got some inside information on Vampirella #1, or some hot information here, and we might just need a Sith Lord to help us out.
I've been summoned.
We would like you to read this and then give us your take.
Well, Vampirella #1 2019 is woke AF. I'm thinking a lot. People are going to skip issue #2. When it comes to these companies, when will these companies learn? So in this panel, you see the evil villain speaking German, and Vampirella bemoaning racism and homophobia as a plane crashes around her.
It's a pretty good sign. Pretty good. Every ounce out of your lungs. Yeah, so I saw this and I was like, really? Can this be real? Maybe sometimes it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy if you get used to spotting this kind of stuff in comics. And then for me personally, I get a little sensitive, with movies and stuff. One girl power moment and it just ruins the whole movie for me, So I'm wondering, is this maybe just a little bit too sensitive? But he's got screenshots and yeah, it doesn't make sense. All I'm getting here in this top panel is no war, no racism, no homophobia. And it looks like she's inside of a plane crash.
She looks like she's also part of the airplane manual.
Hey, I could have colored this.
You could have.
I could have. I could be the colorist on this book and not even know it. Yeah, so here's another one. Again, I don't know if you can see this very well, but vampires are the new, can I say that, Negroes? Oh,
no, that's offensive.
I'm quoting, but well, there goes the monetization on this video. Welcome to my world.
5 more minutes.
I know. I should have. too quick.
Damn it, Clint.
Yeah. So here's everything's got to be about race, I guess. And the thing is, this is the Christopher Priest book. Here's more screenshots. I don't know. Should we get a Sith Lord to read these? Can you see those? Okay. I know they're kind of small.
Do you need the Sith Lord to come in and read
why not?
everybody's lines? I guess it's just one guy. Okay. I'm reading the panels, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to read the panels, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Reading
Vampires
glasses
are the new Negroes. Welcome to my world of the dark side. I am board certified NTSB appointed trauma specialist assigned to help folks cope with this accident. 170 dead passengers. Times 5 around the world. It's hard for me to read this too. It's kind of small.
Yeah, they were small.
And nuts like you, I think I can help you as Miss Normandy. Well, me and Mr. But first, we need to lay some ground rules. There ain't no devil. That's just what I want you to think. No watches, no werewolf, no vampires. You half-naked Canadian B-word are not no alien from Pluto. You're exhibiting symptoms of dissociative disorder in response to major emotional trauma. I can feel his anger.
Yeah, so I didn't read ahead on this whole thing. So yeah, I'm glad that was live right after that. None of this seems woke to me, that's except for panel 1. Which again, just like pointing toward race constantly.
Well, but is it woke, or is that just the point of view of that character? I mean,
you're right. There's a difference. So that's what we're talking about. A woke character versus a woke book or woke, point of view. So far, and now I'm assuming here, if I go back up to the top here, I'm assuming, I mean, I don't know, I haven't read the book, but somebody's saying this panel, no war, no racism, no homophobia. Like those are the worst things on the world.
It does sound like Padme from episode 1. But
I'm waiting for a Padme voice to suddenly appear.
We gotta get some super chats rolling in or something for that.
I know, right? Yeah.
I had a point too, but I lost it.
Yeah, so
too many jokes, still not enough time.
Woke characters versus woke books. What do you guys
here's
think?
the thing.
Yeah.
We're seeing 4 panels,
Right,
out of I assume a 22-page book. I don't know. I've never read Vampirella. So this could be, in all fairness, could be taken way out of context.
It could be. Now I think
It could be, and again, I'm kind of biased in that for the most part, I'm a big Christopher Priest fan, and for most of his career, he is kind of a master at writing characters with different perspectives, outlooks, and points of view. So it could be exactly that. But I took a look at the FCBD preview that they put out a few months ago, and I don't know, it was kind of more of the same. So I don't know. I kind of question if this is intentional or not.
Yeah.
Well, subject to change in the chat is saying, just judging from the SCBD issue, they're more likely making fun of wokeness, which, context is important.
Right. And they could be. And this is also, so one thing is you had the cover, the big, what do they call that? The wraparound cover.
Mm-hmm.
And it had the OK symbol on the plane, and people were kind of freaking out about that. The tail of the plane.
That's a hate symbol. You can't do that. You can't do that these days.
Yeah. And then this. Now, I wanted to say that DC Fan United said he read the entire issue, but I can't find the tweet where I had thought that he said that. But there's a lot of tweets going on. So, this is, I don't know. It's interesting. When does this book come out? Is it already out? I've never read a Vamparella book in my life.
Let's put our crack research team on the job.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
It helps if they know how to type.
Yeah.
July. It's in July solicitations.
Okay.
I mean, this is soon. Maybe tomorrow.
Right.
August, I think. In a Disguise says. Comes out tomorrow, says Eric Breen. Eric knows everything. So
that's true. I do.
Well, the other Eric.
Hey, we're all the same.
It's just you guys have meetings on Wednesdays, a local comic shop.
We're not supposed to talk about that.
Literary meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Out that early.
There are rules. There's one rule.
Don't talk.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Makes sense. Out that early. Out tomorrow
July
would
31st.
make. What's that?
July 31st?
July 31st.
Oh, wait, no, I don't know. This is too complicated. I don't understand comic books sometimes.
And this is the problem with the industry. If Eric, in all his wisdom, can't understand when a book comes out, then
in shops July 17th, 2019, according to previewsworld.com/catalog/May 190996. I'm being specific so people can circle back around and check it themselves.
Yeah. Well, either way, it's coming out soon. We will find out soon for sure if this is a character thing, because that's actually interesting. If you can write a character, and this is the problem I have with a lot of current comics, is that they can't write a character that has a differing point of view or an unapproved point of view. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Like how would you do a Ron Swanson? Like, okay, Ron Swanson, he's supposed to be a libertarian that works in government. That's kind of funny, but making him have that kind of point of view in the writing would be important to his character. That's how you can suspend disbelief, instead of having, except, he believes in, whatever else is politically correct. Right. So having woke characters isn't bad necessarily.
Well, we've got a free comic book day preview. Let me share the screen.
There we go.
This one, and then this one. Take this one off.
Locking on you.
Yeah. So here are some traced photographs.
Mm-hmm.
These are all traced photographs, and this is the free comic book day preview of the 50th anniversary of Vamparella or Dynamite. Dynamic? Vamparella's not 50 years old, is it?
I don't think so.
Could be.
Free Comic Book Day 2019, Vamparella 50th anniversary. Yeah.
Wow.
July 19th is the 50th anniversary of Vamparella.
She's looking good for 50.
Yeah, no kidding. Except for all these, this is problematic. Right here. Yeah. Again, these are all traced photos. That I don't like that. but that's just me.
What's the tip off for you on trace photos?
Everything
Man.
looks like a photograph. Proportions are too perfect.
Yeah, okay, that's
Right?
what I would.
So-
That's what I key in on. So.
Yeah, and this is clearly porn. We can't show this. Yeah, this is look at this right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
human drawing this from their mind or even from reference, it would not look like this
Right.
because all of the curves are the right shape as you would see in a photo. So this is just stock photos being traced over.
Now,
There's
Actually, you know what?
No exaggeration to the form.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, the sad thing is a decent artist can do all of that and make it look better.
yeah.
Sure.
yeah, but a decent artist wouldn't need to do that.
Well,
Right.
no, what I'm saying is, capturing the general idea versus.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Well, so yeah, another thing is the facial expressions seem like the one where there's the woman screaming, I'm assuming, but it's not, this isn't like a cartoon. You know what I mean? Like comics should be turned up to 11. That's the way I picture it. And so that screaming looks like it could also be, a stock photo of someone just like taking a
Yeah.
selfie.
Look at that. I mean, look at this. Gorgeous. Oh, she's got a problem. There's something going on. She's got something going on in her tongue there.
I know this is getting off of Vampirella and more onto the trace drawing, but do you guys remember when Bendis was doing AKA Goldfish and Jinx back in the 90s?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that art was clearly he was tracing photographs, but I thought it was kind of like, I don't have an artist, so this is my way of drawing my stories, and he did it in a way that I thought was great at the time, especially.
Right, and in a lot of cases, he was the one taking the photos that he was then like manipulating and tracing over.
That's exactly right. He was getting his friends, posing the scene. He would then take the picture, light box it.
Right,
and it was pre-digital, so he was still doing a lot of work. There's a lot of artistic stuff that was going on in his.
yeah.
So
on some of those earlier trade printings, like you can see like Scotch tape markings and stuff like that, where it's clear that this is a photocopy.
I actually talked to him for like an hour and a half at San Diego Comic-Con back in, I think it was 97 or something like that, back before he was important, and yeah, it was a good time.
Breaking news. In from the chat, Adam Post says, it's very old. It came out from Warren Publishing in the 1960s as a black and white magazine. So yes, Vampirella.
Oh, wow.
Looking good for 50, I got to say.
Yeah.
Looking good for 50. 50 is not the same as it was 50 years ago. Let's be honest.
Got those Elvira jeans.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It pays to be immortal.
There you go.
Yeah. That would do it. Maybe that explains the collar too. That's always, I don't know. I've always found that weird about the costume, the collar. Maybe that's just me.
Well, it's it's very 70s, very kind of mod costume, Yep.
Yeah. So Vampirella, we'll see what happens. I was really happy with Christopher Priest, just how he handles people. Everybody, you heard about that news interview, and they had to re-interview him because they didn't like some of the things that he said, and he did not fall for any of the traps.
Right.
Great stuff. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with this book. If this was only not like in the entire book, but just only select segments that were kind of spilled out, that could actually be some really smart marketing because they've kind of played it both ways then, you know what I mean? And then if it's just like, well, that's that character, and you understand that's how that character happens to think, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
I've also noticed with Priest that he, in my opinion at least, he tends to excel more with like depowered or street level characters. Like I wasn't a big fan of like his brief run on Justice League. Like when he does like these bigger than life stories, like he tends to root them in a certain level of reality that I don't think always fits 100% with everything that's come before.
Yeah, there was a page too, not in that Twitter thread, but I saw it posted somewhere again by DC Fans United, where he showed, I can't remember, it might have been that same character, that was like, hey, put a shirt on or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that was kind of consistent with what Christopher Priest said in his interview when he was trying to think through what he would do in that situation. I don't know. Again, yeah, all interesting. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell, and we'll find out. But that
Yes,
is those
indeed,
are
yeah.
so far what I have seen posted, so that is worth talking about for sure. Let's take a little break here and look at Samurai versus Dinosaurs. Mike, oh, I don't even have your thing pulled up. Let me get it pulled up. Tell us a little bit about it while I find it here.
Yeah,
Can
happily,
you don't do it. Don't do it, Clint.
You got it, Eric?
I got it. The world will be a better place if you don't try to open a link on your computer.
All right. Next time, tomorrow, you'll see. It'll
we'll
be
see. We'll
running
see for
smooth.
sure. Yeah.
Running
you, Eric.
smooth.
You sassy.
So Samurai and Dinosaurs is the story of an elite group of 8 samurai who are dispatched to investigate a downed meteorite and claims of monsters terrorizing the countryside. Along their journey, time begins to break down and fracture all around them, and what they ultimately discover is a rift in space and time that's allowing dinosaurs from the Jurassic era to bleed out into feudal Japan.
Very cool.
Very
Looks
awesome.
looks good. And that new cover is worth. I know you mentioned it before, but it's worth pointing out. That's the Kelsey Shannon did that new cover, right?
Yeah, yeah. The night that Ethan helped out with like the last 25% of funding, that was when Kelsey and I got to know each other, and he kind of fell in love with the book a little bit.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's a great filling, and he's such a good artist too. That cover looks amazing.
Yeah, he asked me for suggestions, and I was like, dude, you don't need suggestions for me. But he really wanted them, so I gave him 1 or 2, and he was like, how about we do this instead? And it was just it was perfect.
That's so funny.
It was perfect.
Nice. Yeah, this is cool. And I love. I don't know. I love the artwork for this book. Interior pages, too. They're just. It's like this fun European style. It's got the great ink wash, so it's black and white, and it kind of reminds me of, the just ink paintings from Japan or China,
Right.
even. Inks. They're really really cool stuff. I'm excited about this for sure. I've been seeing the link. Moderators have been doing a great job posting the link.
Yeah, they're earning their keep for sure.
Yeah,
Awesome. Thank you.
Aldous is crushing it. Great job. Yeah, so do check this out on Indiegogo for sure. And you're running out of time. So if you've been thinking about it and it's been one of those things you've been putting off, it's time to get it actually. So this looks really good.
Yeah, we'll be once the in-demand store closes down, that's going to be the last time to purchase the book for at least 2 years. If we do a sequel next year, and that's a capital I, it won't be available as a perk. So the earliest we're looking at is like 2021 before I do another printing of this.
Cool. Nice.
Well, yeah, get in while you can, folks.
Exactly.
Now, is that cover, is that on the book, or is that the print, or what?
Well, that's going to be both the cover. It's a wraparound cover. That's going to be both the cover and the poster that gets shipped out to everyone who supported us at the swag tier.
Cool.
So I'm just trying to. So the swag bag tier.
Yeah. So there's technically 2 tiers with swag in the title. There's the swag bag, which is $50, and that includes the book and the poster, postcards, and a production still. And then there's the swag only tier, which after we shut down the campaign and went into in demand, I had a bunch of backers who were like, hey, I backed at 20 or lower. But now that you've got Kelsey, I really want a copy of that poster. So for those backers, I offered up this tier just for the goodies. There's no book in that tier.
So for those people who buy the physical copy, they're going to get Kelsey's cover.
Oh yeah. This isn't. And I in the update post that I made when we revealed it, I made it clear this isn't an alternate cover or anything. This replaces the original cover, and it is the cover for the book.
Okay, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. Just checking in on chat here, and GPez says, "Are you actively trying to get retailers to fund Downcast? Or are you waiting until you print the book, then going to try to get it into some retailers?" I have a retailer tier for Downcast. A lot of people suggested I get one, but I've had no backers, no takers for the retail tier. So I don't know if I don't have it priced correctly, or like too many books or too few books. I'm not sure. But yeah, I haven't been actively going after publisher or actively going after retailers yet. But that will be changing in the future. Yeah.
You better watch out. Sweetcast's going after you. He's got. You guys have heard of the Mormon Mafia. I'm just saying.
I mean, I just hope that Clint doesn't drop any nuggets of truth too soon.
No, yeah, I will say I'll be going after some soon. We'll say that. How does that sound? Arch City Comics says, "Hail Sweetcast, hail panel."
Hey,
all right.
Hail.
City Comics. Great to see you. Yeah. So you came in at the right time, Arch City Comics, because we need your opinion on this. This is hard-hitting news, and it's really important. And here you go. Oh, come on, ads. Here we go. Plus size mannequins are more than just a viral moment. They're the future.
Poor choice of words. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's make our clothes look as bad as possible.
You know, this isn't directly comics related, but it kind of is. And this is what is an ideal figure, or a generic, even not ideal, generic human figure. I don't know. Like this comes up quite a bit. I could actually see it might make some sense if you were in a store that sold plus size clothes. That they wouldn't fit on regular models. You'd think, right? I don't know. I'm just
well, they would. They just would. I mean, they'd at least rest on the regular size mannequin.
Right.
But
regular is a problematic word. I shouldn't be saying regular.
Well, in American, I think we're looking at regular right here.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Yeah,
probably true. And so, to me, mannequins have never been. I don't know though. Maybe it's because I'm not a woman. Mannequins have
partly that.
Probably they've never been like, hey, this is the ideal body size. It's been, this is a generic body size that we can get clothes like generally that fit, without wasting money. I guess like it's just been generic, not ideal. But apparently that's not how people see it. It's seen as an ideal image.
What if this mannequin literally was like inflatable, and so like you could say, oh, we want it to be a size 6 today, and dial in size 6, and it deflates to size 6, and oh, we need a fat person today, so then it goes up to size 18. Now that's a good
idea. Copyright it right now.
That's a killer app right there.
What I want to know is, when are we going to get the new Mannequin movie, the remake of the 1987 classic?
With this guy right here,
size. It's just going to be called Mannequin plus sized.
Part 2.
She's
double XL.
Well, maybe a bit more than double, but
yeah, triple. Ideal body size, and this has been. It comes up in comics a lot. You've seen it before, and that is, are you ideal? You're idealizing one body type, one body size, and that hurts a lot of feelings. I'm not like huge or anything, but I'm not exactly the ideal body size. I've got a dad bod. I'll say that. But when I don't know, I just don't understand. I still, like with comics, if I saw somebody that looked like me in comics, like I've heard people say this, that, oh, Thor, the fat Thor is showing you what representation looks like for you, chubby guys. No, I don't understand that. Like I'm pretty comfortable with how I am, but I want my media, like, I don't need it to pander to me. It seems, it's weird. I just don't get it. Am I missing something, guys?
No, wasn't that what what's his name? Micah Curtis. He just did a video on that subject, actually, and I agree with him. Like, I'm rocking the dad bod too. I've put on some weight since Clark, and it's like I don't want Thor to look like me. I want Thor to look like Thor. And specifically in comics, like these are idealized figures that we're talking about. They're, you know, they're representations of ideals. I never got the whole thing of like, but yeah, how does it relate to me? I never got that type of person or that mindset.
Yeah. Yeah, and that I feel like I don't know. I don't even know that most women think that way either. I feel like it's an ideological thing, representation. It's been carried too far. Now I thought that the fat Thor thing was kind of funny.
Healthy at any size.
The hashtag. Yeah, I thought it was funny at first. I thought he was going to lose weight or something. It was going to go through time and shrink, but he didn't.
I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, we all know guys probably that were football players in college and high school, and they were in the gym in the 20s, but then they let it go. And by the time they hit 40, they got a pretty good beer gut going on. That being said, that doesn't mean he's weak. Let me tell you, there's a lot of guys with beer guts out there that could crush me, right? But that being said, we're not talking about, you know, Thor is not that guy.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Film and entertainment, like you'll hear about this with bodybuilding, or if you go to the gym a lot, right?
3 times a week.
Yeah. So you're working out for strength. I've heard this. You're either it's a strength thing, and then you don't really care what you look like so much, or it's all for show, and you're getting muscles in bodybuilding.
Yeah, it's reps. It's reps versus, you know,
yeah. So in a movie, it would make sense. You don't care how much they can deadlift. It doesn't matter. All that can be done CGI. It's actually not even generic. It is definitely the ideal body image, because I don't know. You don't see it every day, right? It's a spectacle. I don't know. Tell all the women that watched Thor. He got so many women into comics.
Well, you know, look
women into the movies.
You know, look at the Mountain from Game of Thrones, right? Now that is the body shape of a really, really strong guy. He ain't wasp waisted and all that kind of stuff. The problem is the idea of a strong guy versus, you know, which is like Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I mean, the guys like went like this. He was a triangle. He was an upside down triangle, you know, versus like a guy who is really, really strong. I mean, he looks more like a barrel than a triangle. And it's not to say that he's not muscular. And sure, you know, those guys, you know, can re-rip too, but still, I mean, they're just not built the same way. But that said, how many women that look like that, like those models that you showed and that mannequin could be superheroines?
Yeah.
And do cardio for an hour.
Sure. Well, case in point, have you guys ever seen the Russian slapping contest? Have you guys seen this?
Oh, they're so good, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, like the best guy that I've seen at that. The dude was huge. He had, you know, he was in the dictionary for beer gut.
Right.
But
yeah,
he could slap someone into the next day.
Fingers.
yeah, could slap so hard, and you know he was a strong guy. But yeah, there's a difference. It doesn't reflect on your ability or your strength.
You think sumo wrestlers are weak?
I wouldn't pick a fight with one.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes,
right.
I do.
Those guys.
Everybody's agreeing too much.
I can't believe you, Eric.
Everybody's agreeing too much on this panel. I denounce Scott.
You're going to get Clinton demonetized.
That's okay. That's his deal. I'm just the co-host.
Super chats keep coming. What team are you on? Super chat, $5 minimum.
There's a cover charge.
Too much.
For joining a team.
Speaking of weak, so my wife walks in here with a big bucket of paint. We're doing some stuff for the kitchen. We're putting new cabinets starting tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to open this paint bucket, and it's not easy.
Yeah, 3 times a week, Clint. 3 times a week.
Clint, do you have Clint's probably using a Phillips head screwdriver to open up a paint bucket.
Yeah,
this is a 5-gallon. I think I need to cut. That's the problem.
There should be a little tear tab that you pull all the way around, and then you can snap all the way around.
Oh, yeah. I found the tab. You're right. I got it. Still might need a razor blade though to cut through this.
Oh my goodness.
Aren't you guys glad?
I swear to God.
This is
I mean,
problematic.
I'm not,
this is what people come here for. We needed you to, I would say turn the camera on, but I guess you can't, huh?
You should see my room. It's a disaster. We moved everything in here. So that way I can redo. We're doing the whole floor and everything. So it looks like a disaster in here.
So
Well,
new house and a new computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remodeling, new computer. Things are looking up in the Stoker household.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to it to be over.
Eric gets that Downcast money.
That's what it is. That's really what it is.
Man, you should see it. It's just sitting there in the bank account, doing its thing. Oh, I think I got it.
Earning 0.05% annually.
Yeah, probably not even that. It's a checking account.
You should have put it in Bitcoin, Clint.
Didn't that just go down drastically?
No, it didn't go. No, it has not gone down really bad.
Yeah, it did. I don't know. All I know is what I saw on Twitter. I go to this
Oh, you're talking about EDS's tweet?
Yeah, that's where I heard about it. But
Yeah,
I go to this game store sometimes, and we do Magic because I'm a nerd. And they have a Bitcoin vending machine there, and you'll see people randomly come in. It just seems like a random place to have one.
A Bitcoin vending machine?
Or Bitcoin ATM.
ATM. You said vending machine. That's different.
I was like, dude, that's a scam.
It takes my Bitcoin and gives me nothing.
IOUs. They'll fall out.
It's just a little red ticket like that you get at the carnival. All it says on it is IOU. On the back side is a guy of a laughing face.
Right.
Thanks for your money.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about Bitcoin to even really have an opinion. So I think that makes me not in a position to invest in it. Right? Could we agree there?
Yeah. I mean, that's just it. But that being said, let's say you said, "Oh, well, sounds interesting, but I don't know anything about it." The best way to learn about it is to put $10 in it.
That's true.
Because once you put $10 in it, you gotta. It's not much, but it's enough for you to like start checking, and then you start seeing, and then you'll watch a video on YouTube, and you'll hear about it, and it's just it's fun. It could be the future, and it could be nothing. So my tongue is in my cheek when I talk about Bitcoin a lot of times. But seriously, if you're going to invest in it, just keep your eyes open, educate yourself, and don't put any more money in that you're willing to lose all of it. So
yeah,
I was gifted half of a Bitcoin, half of a Ethereum a year ago. And it started when I got it. It was $300, and then like over a couple of weeks, it was like over $700. I thought this is great, and now it's like $20 or whatever. So
half an Ethereum's about $160 right now.
There you go. I'm just gonna let it sit there until I die. It basically doesn't exist to me.
Ethereum is not. Ethereum is essentially a scam, but Mike S. Miller would tell you differently, but.
It's as much of a scam as this entire conversation of Bitcoin. We're scamming the audience here. What are we doing here? Bitcoin. This is not Mike Miller's chat. This is not Aloha Hour.
We should really
draw comic secrets or whatever.
I kind of want
to Sweetcast.
So I just want to let you guys know. I've thought it over with this plus size model thing, and I've had a change of heart. All right. I think I'm going to introduce a new character to the Door Kickers team. And it's going to be a plus size. Because we can all see how if you're going to kick in a door, you got to have a lot of mass. So it's going to be a big fat gal, and she's going to be tacticaled up. She's going to have quad nods on, everything, man.
She's going to be. She's going to be a one-use character, though. Once she kicks that door open, she runs in, and then she's down. Well, she provides cover.
Her code name will be Meat Shield.
Oh my. Oh my! Honestly, the future is no more mannequins. There will just be smart mirrors, and you'll be like, I want this shirt, and you're standing in the mirror, and it'll just appear on you. And you'll be like, yep, this makes me look good. I want this, and that will be the Healthy at Any Size mirror coming. 2022 probably, sponsored by Google.
There you go.
Because it's back matter. They're going to know what your bits look like.
Oh.
I mean, the mannequin thing, I can't picture it's an issue for anyone besides like 20 people on the internet, because I mean, like every body type is weird. Like, and the whole point of what we would like define as an average mannequin is it's the average. Like you know, you look at just the ones that were in some of those pictures, the normal ones, and it's like like there are like extremely skinny women, there are women with bigger tops or bigger bottoms, or like it's just like it's just a billboard for inside the store, and I don't think anyone thinks of it past that.
Well, that's exactly right. The whole point of a mannequin is to make your clothes look as good as they can look. And nobody, I mean, if you design, if it's a label that's promoting plus size models, and these clothes are designed for women that have larger body sizes, or whether they're apple shape or whatever, then that's exactly the kind of mannequins that they should put their clothes on. But if it's a Nike putting their workout clothes like we saw in that, then that probably needs to be on somebody who that was designed for in the first place.
Yeah. Mighty Geek Studio says Sweetcast is a Gen Xer.
Yeah, Sweetcast's jeans are torn because he hasn't changed them in 4 weeks. It has nothing to do with the generation he was brought up in.
Yeah.
The Pearl Jam shirt is a completely different story.
Yeah.
90s,
Basically body paint.
Body paint. No one wants to see that. But I have to say, that would get some views.
Speaking of getting some views, folks, you need to check this out. We are at $19,911 for Flying Fortress Remastered. I'm seriously 2 backers away from cracking $20,000 and unlocking these sweet, sexy pinup ladies right here, with even art by Kelsey Shannon right there in the middle with Lady Luck. There are 6 of these postcards coming, and if you are the backer that pushes us over the edge, you will be the champion of. There will be 390 people, 389 people that will just hoist you up on their shoulders as they parade you victoriously around the town square.
Rightly so.
No, is it for every physical backer?
Every physical backer will get a stack of 6 postcards, each one with different art by, let's take a look. Who do we got here? We've got Billy Tucci, we've got Kyung Lee, John Malin, who was drawing his on chat the other last Saturday. I believe he had a live stream Saturday night, and he was drawing that on there. Matthew Weldon, that's the pencil sketch you see right here, and that is that's just a sketch. It's going to be finished here soon. Elliot Fernandez and Kelsey Shannon, which I showed you earlier. I know Elliot is working on his. I know John's working on his. Everybody else is done, and I believe John wants his colored by one Mr. Kyle Ritter. So that one's going to look pretty choice. Nice. So make sure you back the campaign and help push us over the $20,000 goal.
Yeah, I love the idea of your postcards. I mean, I think I heard you in a different stream talking about, it's kind of like a throwback to using postcards back in World War II and that kind of thing. So the thought I had is that nobody sends postcards anymore, right? And it's just unfortunately the day we live in.
That's correct.
What if those postcards came with in canon messages from the crew of to their families with like reproduction, the back was a reproduction too. I think that would be a cool.
Well, then it would just be a flyer or a print and not a postcard. People could use that is neat, but
they theoretically could use these.
They theoretically could use these, and it would be cheaper for me to print if it's just printed on one side. Let's be
printed on one side, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Warren JB wants to know where the plus size pinup is. Huh?
You have to go to Kickstarter for the plus size pinup.
The whole campaign's different. Oh.
Yeah, it's a completely different campaign. It's Flying Buttress, and it's about plus size mannequins in real life, starring Melissa McCarthy. Actually,
it's got a pastel camouflage cover on the B-17.
Did I hear right too that all those do you call them airplane nose
art?
Nose art. those are actually going to go in the book too on various planes.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that
Yeah.
up. So let me show my screen again. If you look here on this page, I'm gonna make sure I click the right one. If you look, this little piece of metal right here flying through the sky, avoiding all the flak bursts on Earth coming from Jerry down below. These planes had nose art on them, and it was their, you know, it was their lady back home. It was a fun quip that they would do, like Aluminum Overcast or Liberty Bell or Memphis Bell or, you know, that or Bombing Betty. Yeah, so they would paint these things on their nose, on the nose of their plane, and it was just like, this is our girl. This is our plane. So these bomber girls, these bomber pinup postcards, the art is also going to go into the book on different planes. I think I have to add a couple extra planes to make it work, but you know what? We're going to make it work. Going to make it work.
So if you see a random plane that looks better drawn than the others, that'll be the new one.
That'll be the tip. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's the tip off right there.
Very cool.
I tell you what, this is not to say anything about the art, Eric, but I really just look at that cover. It's amazing the growth that you've had as an artist since then. And
Well, thank you.
I'm really glad you're offering this up, because when I first saw this, you know, I never told you about this, but I think we've talked about it since you announced this campaign. But man, you bringing this out in print through Indiegogo is a great idea.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I had a bit of a push from some people saying, you got to build an audience before you release Oz on Indiegogo. And they're like, what are you doing? You're just sitting on this book. It's already done. Why don't you just release it? It's money in the bank. So I made a big deal out of it. And you know what? I think it's going to work for the long-term plan of building that audience, building those fans, because this book will be in your hands. I'm not making a definitive statement here. I'm not making any promises, but I'm going to try to start shipping sometime in August. And that depends on a lot of things. I got to get the book relettered. I'm part of the way through that. I got to update some changes. I have an editor looking at things just to make sure everything's sort of tied up with a bow. And then there's actual waiting for the books to come in and print. And then obviously the head sketches and the signings and all of that stuff. I'm hoping to start shipping in August, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
And the campaign only has 4 days left. Actually, probably less than 4 days if you counting hours.
By the way, I like your 9/11 tribute there on the price. That's awesome.
I have a 9/11 tribute.
Yeah, it's 19/9/11.
Oh, on the yeah.
Well,
I didn't plan that, but
we need to get it up to 20,000.
we do. We need to get it
Yeah,
up.
absolutely.
Mhm. Yeah, it's cool. I'm glad you did the book, and especially because getting something out into people's hands is important.
Yeah.
And kind of, I don't know who I've been thinking about. So, yeah. So this is slightly shifting gears a little bit, but Jason Brubaker reached out to me today.
Uh-oh.
Oh, cool.
What'd you do?
Yeah, he contacted me and was like, "Hey, can I come on your show and promote my book?" And I said, "Heck yes, you can." So yeah, we're gonna have him on. I think it's looking like Monday is what's gonna work. And
Wow.
yeah, I've really been looking at his stuff, and I mean, I've been looking at his stuff for years, but the fact that he's turning over and getting people multiple books, and he's been at it for a lot longer than I have, for sure. But that's like a long-term audience. And I was just thinking of how resilient he is with just his plan and just sort of just trudging through for so many years. And that's really, it just comes down to the books, because his YouTube channel is really not that big. Like views per video are not that high, but it is something he maintains. But it's just people that have read his books over the years, and he's got their email address, so they'll come back every time. So yeah, it's good getting books done and out there so people can read it, and then you start developing long-term fans.
Yeah, I definitely don't want you guys waiting months and months and months for this book to come out, because I've got other plans in store.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
seeing how Jason's doing it, it's a good he's been doing it for
he's the
long
godfather.
time. And I've followed his ever since his first book on Remind. So I've sort of followed his career and looked at it with envy, saying, man, I'd like to do that someday. So
yeah,
here we are.
Yeah, and I always thought like it was impossible. Like you'd have to have his set of skills to do it.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. Like he has a set of skills that make
Particular
him
set of skills.
yeah, yeah, and not just the kind where you chase people down and avenge death or whatever.
Mhm.
But
I
yeah,
feel like I feel like I'm more qualified for that than actually the writing piece. But go ahead.
probably.
Probably so.
Well, you could be both, right? They're not mutually exclusive.
I can chew gum and walk at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, good stuff. So I'm really excited for him to come on. That'll be great. It'll be the first time, and we're gonna swap. I'll go on his stream sometime too. Yeah, let's hear from Mike Murphy one more time, Samurai and Dinosaurs, and I think we'll start wrapping up here. Mike, you're ending on the 9th, right?
Yeah, 12 a.m. the 9th. So technically, July 8th will be the last full day of funding. And yeah, we're looking to reach our 12K stretch goal, which unlocks a huge 10-page gallery featuring the best and brightest from Comicsgate. We got a piece from Narwhal, Kyung Lee, Carl O'Roe, a whole bunch of others. It's going to be really, really solid. So if we can hit 12K before midnight, July 9th, it won't be 110 pages. It'll be 120.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
Wow, yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. Really good size book for people, and they can get to know you and your writing and the art, and I love that. That's great. Cool. Thanks everybody for joining. Really, really appreciate it. I think we're gonna wrap up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Yeah, we've got to figure out. I don't know. I got to figure out what I'm going to do on the 4th of July. I don't know, but tomorrow the plan is to stream as well. So, thanks everybody, and we will see you next time.
Later.
yeah.